Hi, you're listening to After the Review with Peter and Terrell. Our podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Podbean. If you enjoy our content, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the episode. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After the Review with Peter and Terrell. I'm your host, Peter, and with me, as always, is my man, Terrell. What's up, Terrell?
What up, Pete? How'd your weekend treat you? Bye week treat you? The Vikings were off. Did
It
do you
was
well?
nice. It was nice. What really made my weekend was the Sunday night game out in San Francisco, Niners Packers, and the Packers got mollywopped. And nothing makes me feel better than watching Aaron Rodgers lose like he lost last night.
I know. I was watching the game. I could just imagine you grinning from cheek to cheek, watching Rodgers getting worked. Yeah, this 49ers team is once again. We talked about this, but they're for real as for real gets. They look good and they dominated. And I heard a lot of good things after the game. I know we've been bagging on Jimmy G a little bit, thinking he's not as good as he is, but he's pretty good. And supposedly he's the leader of this team. You know, he gets these guys riled up. But that's good to hear. I wasn't so sure who, I didn't know if he was a vocal leader on that team or so to speak, or he's one leading the group. But it was good to hear that he was. And I was already sold by them, but they've now taken it to the next level, and it's like this is a for real Super Bowl contending team. For sure.
To be
They have a
fair,
gauntlet coming up though.
they do have a gauntlet coming up. I don't think Green Bay's defense is that good. Just a little overrated, but it's amazing how much difference the offense looked when you got Kittle back. Kittle was back. Debo Samuel stepped up a wide receiver, and then Sanders back at wide out.
Debo Samuels, real quick, sorry to cut you off. If you don't have him on your fantasy squad or he's still out there, please pick him up. Man has had, I don't know if he had 100 yards last night, 2 nights ago, but before they had back-to-back 100 yards games, and he scored a touchdown
He did have a
Sunday
touchdown
night.
last night too. So
sure. I'm just saying he's been balling out the last couple weeks. So
they found
just a little fantasy advice for people.
So it's amazing. They're a power run team with that kind of that trap blocking scheme they got, pulling the guards, pulling the center. And then you burn people over the top. They burn people over the top with that play action and hit Kittle, going across the field. And Kittle's probably the best two-way tight end in the NFL. No offense to Kelsey, but he can't block.
Whoa. Please stop the press on that one.
Kelsey can't block like George Kittle can. It's not very close.
Kittle can't do the things Kelsey can.
On
the pass game.
I don't know. He kind of looked like he can. The man did have a 200.
I don't know about that.
Did he have a 200-yard receiving game last year? I believe.
I mean, that's good for him. He had a 200-yard receiving game. Round of applause. But has he had 3,000 yards? 1,000 yards the last 3 years?
I don't think he hasn't been in the league 3 years, has he?
I don't know, but he's not Kelsey. All right, shit.
Two-way, man. Two-way tight end. Sometimes you got to run block. But yeah, they looked really good. What surprised me the most about them is how fast their defensive front seven looked. They are fast and they can tackle, and that's super scary for anybody in the playoff picture.
Yeah, this is elite defense. The D-line is for real. Now I can understand why John Lynch just drafted D linemen year after year after year to show us that when you have a D-line, it makes life easier on everyone else. The corners don't have to cover as long. The linebackers can just fill gaps because D linemen are eating up two linemen. And safeties can just do their things. It's really exciting to watch. I wish the Chiefs had a D-line like this. I was like, I sit every game I watch 49ers. I'm like, why not? Why can't we? We only have one guy who's like that. That's Chris Jones. So like, where did these guys go when we were drafting? We were just drafting all these offensive players, I guess, which is very exciting.
You also weren't drafting that high in the draft either. The Niners have been bad for a good minute.
That's true. I guess you got to be bad to get to this point and blossom. So I guess to the Niners' credit, they would say they deserve this because they've been going through the rough patch. But still, the Chiefs could at least find somebody close to this. But no, it's super exciting to watch though.
But they're gonna have their handfuls next weekend because they're going to the Baltimore Ravens, and we just watched Baltimore finish up on Monday night at the Rams, and Lamar Jackson put on a clinic. I think he's the MVP front runner, safe to say for sure. What do you have?
Someone wants to jump on my wagon with the MVP conversation.
Hey,
it's all right.
It's his to lose.
You're right. That's okay. As long as you got on, that's all that matters. You weren't too late. You're right. It's his to lose. this Ravens offense. This Ravens team is legit. We thought maybe they lost to the Browns and lost to the Chiefs. Like maybe they're here and there, but I think they're for real. As for real gets, as I like to say. Lamar is very good. This team is just amazing.
We still haven't seen him play. We still haven't seen him play from behind. That's probably the last big question mark for the team, which you're going to face in the playoffs. You're going to be playing from behind. There's too many good teams in the NFL that you're not going to have a little, adversity going for you. But they pound the rock and they play some pretty good defense. Marcus Peters' trade has totally changed this defense. They can cover people downfield. They're getting after they're getting after quarterbacks. They're dangerous. They are very, very dangerous. They have an identity. They know who they are, and that identity, pound the rock, play defense, travels very well. But they may not even have to go on the road in the playoffs.
That's true. I will to comment on them not playing behind. They didn't win this game, but when they were playing the Chiefs and the Chiefs got up on them, they did make the game very scary. As just a fan watching the game, I thought they battled back. They showed that they could,
wasn't it? That was some luck. Lamar threw up two really bad jump balls that
you're
the
right.
Chiefs DBs they were kind of like the Chiefs DBs every once in a while. Whoops.
Yeah, it's true. But they were resilient. They battled back. They're there's not a team that is just, when they get down,
I want to see it in a game.
You want to see it though.
You want to see it either next week against San Francisco at home. That's a big game, but in the playoffs, that's where you're going to get answered, because it's easy to say, oh, it's okay if we don't come back. We're going to fight and try and come back, because a loss in, October, first week of October doesn't kill you. Loss in January sends your ass home. So that's where I want to.
No, you're totally right. I mean, but it's a weird. I know what you're trying to say,
right? Yeah, you just don't.
But it's weird to be like, I hope the Ravens fall back behind so we can see what they do. But I mean, if they just keep beating people, I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'm sure no one in the Ravens gonna be mad about it.
I mean, hey,
I also do see where you're coming from though, because if you've never been in those shoes, you don't know how to react. You always been ahead, learn how to play.
You get punched in the mouth. You don't know what it feels like to get punched in the mouth sometimes, and you can't bounce back. Everybody's got a plan. Mike Tyson's always said it. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit.
So hopefully next week can be a week for them. Maybe maybe they get punched in the mouth first, and then they have to retaliate instead of punching people in the mouth. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited to watch that game. Lamar is definitely my MVP winner. Like you said, his to lose. First place. I think it's clearly Russell is in second. It's not 1A, 1B.
No,
I think Russell's
right.
Second.
He's second. And Rodgers is out of the picture. I think after Sunday night, he's toast. Check him off. Watson
for sure.
He was okay Thursday, but I think it's a 2-horse race. The other big game from the weekend, the Sunday afternoon game, everybody was watching it in Foxborough. The Cowboys and the Patriots. The weather was atrocious. It looked miserable. It was pouring rain the whole game. It was windy. Yeah. It was cold.
That was supposed to be that snow we thought we were going to get.
No, it was just the worst. 38 and rainy. Oh, my God. I've sat in a football game outdoors in weather like that, and I tell you, it was the worst time I've ever had at a football game.
I mean, this goes back to what I said earlier. No one wants to play in that. There needs to, I know you can't just, build domes.
It makes men. Iron sharpens iron.
Snap your... I know, but no one wants to sit in that. No one really wants to watch it. But I think eventually at some point everyone needs to have a dome. I
would have liked it a lot better. Maybe if it wasn't so much rain. But
yeah, I mean,
maybe if Dallas had stuck to the run game, the game would have been a lot more enjoyable, because that would have been physical smash mouth football. But the old clapper, Jason Garrett himself, just can't get out of his team's way. It feels like he's the hindering factor, don't you think?
No, I definitely do. I actually know I like Jason Garrett. It's just you can only defend him so many times, right?
Right. Jerry was so frustrated after the game. He called him out. Basically, Jerry said, I did not write these checks for this team to be 6-5.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. He still got to write more checks. She's like, shoot, we're 6-5. I'm not gonna pay my quarterback $30 million a year. What the hell?
Amari Cooper took a step back. I mean, Stephon Gilmore put clamps on him. Not a single catch for Cooper. That's a lot.
True. But he was hurt. He was kind of hurt though. He was hurt. To his credit, though, he was hurt for a little bit. So it wasn't 100%. We didn't have 100% Cooper versus a like legit Stephon Gilmore. So I'm not surprised from what I saw him getting put his clamps on him, but I think a healthy Cooper would help them, make some plays. If he catches that ball, at the end of the game, that fourth down catch.
That was a great throw, and that was a great effort.
Yeah.
At least we're not going to hear, Amari. We're going to hear Amari caught it instead of Des caught it now because I wasn't that close.
Oh, it wasn't close at all, but it was like, oh crap, here we go. And I was like, Amari Cooper, way to show up,
What a dime.
Yeah, for sure. But like you said, this Cowboys team, you can tell, right? We're not Cowboys fans, but you can tell they're good. Like this is a good football team, but like they just don't put the pieces together.
It makes no sense. Like Dak, they'll be at home and Dak's slinging the rock, and then all of a sudden they're like, let's feed Zeke, and they let bad teams back in the win. They let teams back in it. And they lose some games because of it, or they're in closer games than they should be. And then yesterday, Dak wasn't throwing good. He had issues. He had to put on a glove, couldn't really grip the ball. And Zeke was chewing off 4 yards a carry, it felt like. And they were dominating at the point of attack on the offensive line. And they just, let's throw the ball. Let's have Dak throw it. I saw stat, I think it was, they had 7 3rd-and-2s or shorter, and they threw it 5 times. Like, what are you doing? You have the, one of the best offensive lines in football, and Zeke. Run the ball. Don't make Dak throw it because they were not. I think they converted 2 of those third downs. That's awful.
Yeah, on the other hand, it's like, if we get in this formation, they know we're gonna run. The defense just sells. I've seen it. We've seen it so many times. Like I'm not defending Kellen Moore and Jason Garrett. Well, I guess I kind of am in a little way. But I agree. You should run more. They should have ran a little bit more on third down. But I also see the other hand as like if we get in this, the same package and run the ball again,
good.
They're gonna sell out and we're probably gonna get stuff. I've seen it so many times. You get, you're like, oh, we're gonna run it on 3rd and 2, and
Bill
get stopped.
Belichick makes you change your game, man. That's how you. Beat, that's how you beat the Patriots. Don't change your game plan. Just do what you do.
So
it's plenty here, but yeah, Jason Garrett, that seat is more than hot. I would say.
Can he save it though? Can he save his job? What if he wins out?
You win the Super Bowl. You ain't going anywhere. That's simple.
Yeah. Okay, that's the only way.
If you make the NFC Championship game, you may save your job.
Okay, but we can see this team being an NFC Championship game now, right?
No, I mean the problem is the NFC is so stacked. It feels like the NFC is pretty much set at this point, unless something crazy happens. We kind of know the 6 teams that are going to be there. It's going to be San Francisco, Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Dallas. Maybe Philadelphia gets in there.
Now, if Philadelphia gets in that spot, he's definitely getting fired. Yep. But I think I can see the Cowboys being an NFC Championship game.
So they're going to get a home game, and they're either going to play currently they're going to play the Seahawks in the first round in Dallas like they did last year. You're telling me the Cowboys are beating the Seahawks? I don't know.
I don't know. I just it's kind of what you said about kind of with the Ravens. Like the Cowboys need to put a game together versus a good team. Like you want to see the Ravens do it. We also want to see the Cowboys do it. Like you want to see you come from behind and put a game together versus a good team because we know they've got the pieces to be good and we've seen splashes of them be really good. I think they just need to put it all together for 4 quarters.
Yeah, finish a game. They haven't been able
finish a game, and then because I do believe this team is good. Like if I was a fan of the Cowboys, I'd be upset because you could see the team be good. The team is good, but you haven't put it together. Also, I'd love to have that defense. Speaking as a Chiefs fan, but I think they could do something.
The defense has been very underwhelming this year. They played good, but this weekend, that could have also been the weather.
To the other flip side of that, the Patriots. They don't scare me, to be honest.
They don't, but they really don't. Football games.
They just scare me a lot.
They were super undermanned on offense. Sanu was out. Dorsett was out. Tom Brady kind of looked like a young man, though. He was dancing around in the pocket. He had very nice footwork, and he was making plays when he had to make plays, just like Tom Brady does.
I'm not disagreeing with you there, but like I said, the Patriots, they don't scare me. Their defense look good, is legit, but their offense doesn't scare me. Like last year, they scared me. Like I was like, man, send Gronk out wide by himself. Like there's no stopping that. Like they don't have that this year. They're not really scaring me. No, Sonny Michel doesn't scare me.
They have the ultimate magic eraser and Bill Belichick though. He's gonna
That's true.
fix everything for them.
Like to be honest, like when the Chiefs play them, I'm scared because the Chiefs defense isn't like I'm not scared, but like
But
the
they're
Chiefs
not
defense isn't
elite.
that good. But they're not good, but like I think Mahomes will be able to do some things versus them, like he has before. But I think
The question
like
is,
if it
are you
were
going
to
to
be
get
a
open
shootout,
though? Can the
that's true.
receivers get open?
I
That'll be a
mean,
big key.
if Gilmore wants to run with Tyreek Hill all game, please do. Like we got Kelsey, we got McCall Harmon, we got Watkins, and we got other guys who can make plays. I think the Chiefs receivers are elite enough to break away from the DBs.
The big key in that game was, since Kansas City can't run the ball, New England will be able to tee off on the pass rush, and they'll
That's
sit in
true.
good pass coverage. So maybe Chiefs got to find a run game to help that offense out.
Like start out, help start off in a run game that can get you to open up the pass.
But
I totally agree.
Little side note about not being scared of New England. There is one team that's historically had very good matchups against the Patriots, and that's Harbaugh in Baltimore. They've matched up well in the playoffs, so maybe you're right to not be afraid of the Patriots because Baltimore's a coming.
I mean, no, it's stupid to be like, oh, I'm not afraid of this 10-1 team, but like they win games, but like it's like
I get it.
Like the Cowboys could easily, the Cowboys easily could have won that game.
They
easily, yeah. So I mean, they're just not like from years in the past where you're like, crap, like this team is definitely going to win it. I think I'm not going to doubt the Patriots because it's dumb for me to do, but I do think the gap's been closer.
Mm-hmm. And Dallas has got their hands full on Thanksgiving with Buffalo coming to town because the Bills are 8-3. The Bills are like in the playoffs basically, even though. Listen to this. You ready for this Bill schedule at 8-3 and sitting in that 5 wild card spot? This is brutal. They're at the Cowboys. They play the Ravens. They're at the Steelers. They're at the Patriots, and then they close with the Jets. They might go 0-5 with those 5 games,
and still make the playoffs.
I don't know if they get it. They're not getting it at 8-8. No way.
You think so?
No, because I have the
Steelers aren't getting in 8-8.
Well, I have the playoff picture. Pittsburgh 6-5, Oakland 6-5, Indy 6-5, Tennessee 6-5, and Cleveland's 5-6. Pittsburgh plays Cleveland next week at home. Then they're at Arizona, Buffalo at home, at the Jets, and at the Ravens. So that's a tough schedule also. Oakland's,
but they don't have a quarterback.
What do you mean? They got who'd they bring in? Hodges?
Delvin Hodges.
What do you mean? Mason Rudolph's just not an outstanding quarterback and a great guy that. Yeah, F him.
Oh, man.
Oakland's schedule's a little tough. They're at the Chiefs. They still got Tennessee and Jacksonville, at the Chargers, at the Broncos. Tennessee's schedule is very tough. At the Colts.
Tennessee, no joke though.
Yeah, they look good. Ryan Tannehill's 5-1 in his 6 starts.
Sometimes you just need a new scene. That's all. You just need a new scene sometimes.
He's athletic. He was good under Gase. He had a winning record with Adam Gase in Miami. He's just staying healthy, and they've got Derrick Henry. I know I was, 4 years early on Derrick Henry in fantasy when I told you how great he was going to be. And you gave me so much crap for that, but he's a stud these days. That running game is good. And they play great defense, but the schedule is really tough for them to close it out. They're at the Colts, at the Raiders, Texans at home, Saints at home, and then at the Texans. That's brutal.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
So
I'm glad they got some wins down though. So maybe it went surprise us.
The Colts are in good shape with Tennessee, at Tampa Bay, at New Orleans is a tough game, Carolina, and at Jacksonville. I'm telling you, the Cleveland Browns are coming in strong. Maybe they're a game back of those 4 teams, but they're
they need to finish 9-7, 10-6.
They need to finish 10-6. They're probably going to finish 9-7. They're at Pittsburgh this week. They have Cincinnati twice. At the Cardinals, and then the Ravens at home. That Ravens game is the big one, week 16.
But good thing they've already got the Ravens once, so
that's the problem. I think that's even worse.
It's worse.
The Ravens are saying, no, you're not getting us twice.
I was gonna be like week 16, like, are the Ravens sitting on week 16? Or the Ravens be in a position?
Still going for that. I think they're trying.
They're still going. They're going for the bye.
Because all they need to do is have New England slip up one of these last games because they have that tiebreaker. So you got to try.
But let's asterisk that though, because say New England slips up 2 games or so, and the Ravens take care of business in week 16 is like, So it might help the Browns.
We might find
So
the Browns definitely might be playing for something week 16 and 17 to get in, which would be really funny
sure.
with the roller coaster of a season they've had. But
I know they played the Dolphins, but they looked good. You
they
could
look like the
tell
Browns.
OBJ was so happy to finally get over, like, to get the monkey off his back of, like, just the no touchdown streak. Like, they just looked like it looked good. They kind of whatever,
They
but they
did
look
let the
good.
Dolphins back in it for a little bit.
Yeah, they let him back in it, and I was like, come on, but whatever. It's like,
It was.
but I could tell that this is a win they needed. They needed a win like this to catapult them to get to like that 10-6, that 9-7 they need. They need a win like this to really get the wheels turning.
All right. Well, staying in Ohio, let's move to college because that's one thing that the Ohio people can be okay with. Ohio State survived very sloppy game against Penn State. I know we were talking about this. You were more impressed with Ohio State than I was.
Yeah, I just like to overcome, like, usually teams like that when they play sloppy, big stages, they let it just derail them and they lose those games.
Penn State was fully in this game with the 17 points in the third quarter. They were right in it.
Yeah, but it's like we talked about, this game should have been 21 at halftime. I think this game should have been 28-0 at halftime. Justin Fields has the fumble at the goal line.
Going in,
and then they going in, and then he threw a bomb at the end of the half. I think this Ohio State receiver should have came down with it. And you go in at halftime 20-0, I think Penn State just lays over and it's over with.
I saw some troubling things, I think, from Ohio State. It's the first. It's the first decent team they've played. Penn State, you would call them decent in quotation marks, and they look slow. Penn State looked slow to me the entire first, so of the game. They were a step and a half, 2 steps slower than Ohio State, and Ohio State still really couldn't put them away. I don't trust Justin Fields throwing the ball from the pocket. He's a fantastic runner.
He looked good.
I don't throwing the ball. He did not look good. He looked great running it, and. Think about, like, you're going to have to play a Clemson. You're going to have to play an LSU coming down the stretch. You turn the ball over 3 times like that, they're making you pay through the nose. And that's where, if you play a sloppy game like that, you're done.
I don't disagree with you there, but to his credit, he hasn't really played quarterback in a big game like that the whole time.
He's a young guy.
Young guy still. He's played in a big game, essentially, I would say. But not in that position where he's the quarterback the whole time and stuff like that.
Well, he's about to learn what it really means next week because they're at the big house playing Michigan, and you'll learn what it means to be in a big stage against a good team. Because Michigan's been arguably one of the best 5 teams in the country since the second half of the Penn State game.
For sure. I think this is a good learning test for them. A lot of good film for Ryan Day to teach Justin Fields. I think they come back stronger. I can agree with you that they did look sloppy, but I still think this Ohio State team is for real. To overcome that and still, win by 11 or whatever, and really, essentially, I think they still controlled the game the whole time. But I see where you're coming from. It did look sloppy. But if Justin Fields doesn't fumble the ball a couple times, then we're not even talking about this at all.
Work on ball security. You're right. But worst case scenario, Ohio State wins the Big Ten, and we get them against Clemson in a semifinal probably. And I'd really like that matchup because Ohio State runs that power, smash mouth football, and Clemson's front 7 could definitely fit some gaps better than Penn State did, and give them some fits offensively. So we'll see. Like we said, big test this week at the big house. Harbaugh and Michigan are just salivating at a shot to finally beat Ohio State because it's been. Forever, because they never beat Urban Meyer. So we'll see. Well, speaking of teams that didn't survive the test, we didn't really have this one on our radar. Oregon goes down to Arizona State in the Sun Devils. Herm Edwards, baby. You play to win the football game. And they almost let it get out of hand. They let Oregon score 14 straight points late, and they close it out with a bomb up 3 to put the game away, essentially. So huge win for the Sun Devils and kind of ended Oregon's season.
Definitely ended Oregon's season. They're just playing for New Year's Six bowl now.
They're playing for spoiler, right? You can end
the season. They're just. Should they even really for the Pac? I know So this
Do
is
it for the
dumb to
conference.
say. Yeah, like you know what I'm getting. You know what I'm getting here. Like it's dumb to say that on the Oregon behalf, but like yeah, they have really not playing anything. So if they go beat Utah in the Pac-12 championship, great. Now I'm knowing the Pac-12 is getting in the CFB. So
And Oklahoma's back
yeah,
in.
and Oklahoma's back in, and we get to talk about Jalen Hurts more. Great,
Oh, your
I'm all
boyfriend.
about that. But I know Oregon, they really kicked themselves in the foot here, for sure.
What
I thought they were gonna come back there. I was like, oh, Herbert, okay, but what I saw from Herbert is
I
like what
liked.
everyone else has been talking about. I was like, okay, this kid can sling the rock, for sure. But I mean,
Horrible two
you can't
picks
lose.
early. Yeah, horrible two picks
Yeah,
early, but great
but you
fourth quarter.
can't. Yeah, great job at the end. Who's the receiver he was throwing the ball to? We gotta give that dude a shout out. He was balling. I don't know if you know his name. Number 3 for Oregon though, but dude's balling. He and Herbert was singly handedly putting the Oregon team on their back to try to come back.
Yeah.
Too bad he couldn't play defense either. Yeah, this is hurt. There's not much about that. I kind of saw this.
Johnny Johnson the third for Oregon, 10 catches, 207, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Johnny Johnson, dude was balling out. But like I kind of saw this a little bit when I saw Arizona State, Oregon. I was like, this screams upset right here.
Arizona State started off really strong. They were 5-1 to start the season.
I mean, they're a really good 5-5, well, 6-5
team.
but they were. I mean, they were 5-5 at the time, but they're a really good 5-5 team. Like
they're a really
no
young team
slouches.
too. They're really
yeah.
young team,
So and when you have a coach who can coach you into a battle and lead you to win, the chances are always better. So hats off to Arizona State.
And I remember when they hired Herman, everyone was kind of making fun of that because he hadn't coached college football in like 45 years or something like that, something ridiculous. But he's really done a great job with them, and feels good. Yeah, good for the Sun Devils. Tough break for Oregon. So what are we looking at here? How are we feeling about the Final Four shaping up the last week and then championship week?
The weirdest thing is like I got LSU in, I got Ohio State in, I got Clemson in, and I put Georgia in. I told you last week Georgia doesn't impress me, and A&M kind of proved my theory a little bit right.
A&M played a great football game in the second half.
They did.
The defense played a good football game, and honestly, I like to say it, but I don't like to seriously say it. The referees really kind of took away a legitimate shot for A&M. There was 4 non-calls that were unforgivable in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a tough game for the refs, but we can't harp on that because the game's over with and we got to move on in line. Yeah. But so the Georgia doesn't. I think LSU's gonna wax Georgia.
Yeah, well then Georgia's done if LSU whacks them, and I think
that's what happens.
Yeah, and then so who's getting in? Who's that last spot? Let's just say Oregon beats Utah. Oklahoma's a lock, you think, over Bama?
No, I can't do that. I think Bama takes care of business at Auburn.
Yeah, right.
This is what Bama needs. They need to show us that Mac Jones, that's his kid's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Mac Jones could go out and play with Clemson, Ohio State, LSU in a football game if it came down to it. That's what Bama needs to do. They need to show us, hey, this kid can ball. He's not Tua, but he's good. Our team is good. He can do it.
Maybe not even play necessarily with them, but be like kind of like AJ McCarron was. Manage the game.
Yeah,
we're gonna pound the rock. Harris is a monster in that backfield. We have great receivers. It's not like you're working with garbage. And maybe the defense got to step up. The defense for sure has to step up and play really well, I think, against Auburn to kind of say, like, all right, we're going to just change how we play, and we deserve a serious look because it's really hard to punish a team with one loss being the number 1 undefeated team in the country in LSU.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they're going to punish them more for losing 2 than actually one loss. In my opinion,
I agree, but they didn't punish Ohio State with Cardell Jones. So, like you said,
I know, but
show it. Mac Jones.
My point is, Mac Jones, show it. Show me you're like a Cardell Jones, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so if Oregon beats Utah, I think Bama gets in. I don't think Oklahoma gets in. As much as I love it, as I love Jalen Hurts, I love what they're doing there. Everything's great. My former high school coach is a strength coach there. Like I just love everything they're doing, but they just don't look like they're gonna be
right.
worth
They don't look right.
getting
Like I was
in.
saying, they
Yeah,
look
like
bad
I
against
would.
TCU again. They're not. Jalen Hurts
It
is
would be
not getting better as a passer, which is awkward.
it's just so sad. It's sad to see, but it would be a layup for LSU, and that's something we want. So also, but I don't want to see LSU Bama again. So
That's
I mean,
true.
but you can't beggars. I mean, I can't.
Do you?
It's not my job to choose or
So here's
whatever.
an interesting little scenario. We can get, I know how we love playing scenarios. What if Minnesota beats Wisconsin this week and then beats Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game? What does that do to everything? Put Minnesota in? I know, right?
So we're talking
Big Ten champion.
Minnesota lost to Iowa.
One loss at Iowa. And they'll have beaten Penn State, Wisconsin, and Ohio State.
But I think, well, in that case, then
Ohio State's out.
I think Ohio. I no.
Ooh.
I don't think Ohio State gets out because they're in the same situation that Georgia was in. So if Georgia, because we've been talking about if Georgia doesn't get waxed by LSU, they still get in.
I don't
four,
think
right?
They have two losses. They're not getting in with 2 losses.
Oh, okay. Well, then my point exactly. So
you're
then Ohio State. I'm saying Ohio State gets in and Minnesota gets in too.
You put Ohio State in over Alabama.
Yeah, because Ohio State went to their conference championship game.
You can't punish Alabama for being in the conference with the number 1 team in the country. It's kind of hard.
Sorry. We can't punish Ohio State. I mean, we're punishing Ohio State for playing extra game.
Well, you lose late.
Yeah, and losing late. Like, so I mean, I think it's tough.
We'll have to see how they look, because if they don't look good against Michigan and Minnesota beats them, I think they're a fraud at that point. I would call them a little bit of a fraud when you're 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying, like, you're punishing Ohio State for playing extra game, essentially. Because if Ohio State was, if they're like, oh, we're not going to do the championship, we're just going to call it an outright winner in Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? So let's not punish them for playing in a championship game or losing late, unless they get waxed, and that's it. Especially since that's their first loss.
All right. Well, before we wrap things up, we got to do a little NBA love. Let's give a little shout-out love to our man, Luka Doncic, for the Dallas Mavericks. Man, he is off to a fiery start. The Mavericks have won 5 in a row. This man, Luka, has been carrying this squad. I knew he was good. I told you last year I thought he was the number 1 pick.
I knew he was good too. I just was like, I've said this on record to my friends, so I'm gonna say it here. So I'm gonna stay with it. I just thought the dude was worth it. Now, like looking back, maybe I take it back a little bit. I thought it was worth it for the Hawks to trade number 3 pick to the Mavericks to get Trae Young and pieces later, but it doesn't look like those pieces are going to turn out to anything. Like Cam Reddish is going to be trash, and DeAndre Hunter isn't going to be very good.
Marvin Bagley, the first pick in that.
No, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton was the first pick,
and then Bagley,
then Luka. But I was like, like the Hawks, like they got like Trae Young's good too. Like, no, don't get me wrong, Trae Young's special. He's not Luka special, but he's special. And I'm like, well, if you can get someone who's special, then maybe get someone else who is special too. Then you're like, you're doing yourself a favor, built for the future. But now looking back at it, I'm like, man, maybe you should just take a little Luka.
He was my number. I said he was the number 1 player, but I didn't think it was this. No, he's a freak.
He's a freak. Yeah, I don't think Luka would have fit in Atlanta. So I think all the cards shaped out right. I think Dallas is meant for him. That like they needed someone like that after Dirk.
Can you imagine going from the greatest European player ever to maybe the greatest European player ever?
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
It was meant for Dallas to get them. I got some great Luka stats here. The youngest ever is to have 3 straight 30-point games and 10 assist games. That's crazy. Only player besides LeBron to have 35-point triple-double for turning 21. This dude can't even go get a beer at the bar. He's also got the Mavs offensive efficiency at number 1 in the league. Second fastest player behind Oscar Robertson to get 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists. Luka Doncic is a beast. That's just a couple numbers for the people.
And he quietly assassinated the Rockets last night with a 41. Yeah, 41-10.
That's what he does. He just quietly assassinates. That's a great way to put it. Just quietly assassinates people. Jump back stepper is ridiculous. It's amazing to see. And I am not a Mavericks fan, but I am from Dallas area, so it's exciting to see the Mavericks do good. But as most people know, I am a LeBron guy, so I follow LeBron wherever he goes. And then when LeBron retires, I would be on the Ben Simmons bandwagon. Which Ben Simmons hit his first three. Let's go!
Party! Oh,
so that's great. I'm happy for Luka. I'm excited to see him take over NBA.
It's good. All right, let's get to our picks. We did a very mediocre job last week. We were 2-3.
What's mediocre?
We were 2-3, but I want to give us a free pass in the Patriots Dallas game because I think we both would have switched to the Cowboys after both those receivers were ruled out on Thursday. I think we both
probably
agreed. So I'll give
we had
a
update in the weather too. Yeah.
I'll give us a 2-2 on that other scores. So we're sitting.
If Jason Garrett doesn't try to kick the field goal there and go for it, and they don't get it, we do cover though. So I guess Jason Garrett again is the problem.
Or maybe if New England got a couple more yards on that last drive, they would have kicked the field goal to put them back up.
That's true.
So we're sitting at 9-8 with the going against the spread. So not great, but we're doing all right. So let's get to this week's picks. Let's start on Turkey Day. Give everybody a little something to watch. Thanksgiving Day. We got the Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are 7-point favorites, and we are both circling the wagons, ladies and gentlemen. The Buffalo Bills are gonna. I don't think they're gonna. They might win the game. It wouldn't surprise me, but I think I think they lose by a field goal. I think
Jason Garrett can't get fired on Thanksgiving, man. He's got to win this game.
All right, so they win that game, but I
Cole Beasley's coming back to show the Cowboys what they're missing out on.
Yes, and Buffalo's very tough, and I think they play tough. It's like the biggest game the Bills have had since in 20 years, maybe. Who knows? In the regular season, at least. So keep our eye on that. We're going with the Bills. All right, switching to Saturday.
Wait, real quick though. On the Thanksgiving note, why do the Lions always host a Thanksgiving game?
Because
why do we have that penciled in?
Them and the Cowboys, Lions and the Cowboys always host on Thanksgiving.
Why though? We care so much about TV ratings. Why do we pencil the Lions?
They've been doing it forever.
They're still horrible. I know, but let's give the people something to watch. Like everyone's around the TV on Thanksgiving. Let's not put the horrible Lions on.
That's why they added the third game, that third Sunday night, or that third
Thursday night don't add the third game. Just take the damn Lions out when they suck. Just put someone else in.
It's tradition, man. Quit trying to ruin tradition. Why do we always put the Cowboys I'm not trying on? Cowboys are 8-8. I understand.
The Cowboys
they put up a number.
They put a good show still, but like the Lions ain't putting up no good show. Like, come on, we gotta do better than this. Like the NFL needs to do better than this.
Hey, sometimes
like for the people. Put the Lions on the Sunday morning games when we got 7, 8 other games going on, and we just take a sneak peek and see what the Lions doing.
The Lions
we check it.
Barry Sanders, that was must-watch TV.
Are we talking about Barry Sanders right now, Pete? Come on.
Dude, you got to keep They're getting rid of it. All right, let's go to Saturday. We got the Big Ten matchup, Ohio State, Michigan. Michigan is 8-point underdogs. Who you going with, Terrell?
I got Ohio State. I'm taking the points. Not taking the points, but what's the point?
You're laying the points. 8 points.
Yeah.
Oof. OHIO. Yeah, I'm going go Big Blue. I think Michigan makes this game close. I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan won this game. I really wouldn't.
You're taking Michigan to win.
No, I'm taking. I don't know if it's close. I don't want to say for sure, but I think it's right there for the taking for Michigan. They're hungry. They've been playing some of the best football. They want this game. So I'm taking the blue. All right.
I think Justin Fields learns that he almost lost his team chance to get in the CFP, and he buckles it up. But okay, let's go to the next one.
All right, the Iron Bowl. We got Alabama, Auburn at Auburn. Alabama 3.5-point favorites on the road. Backup quarterback in. We're rolling with the Tide. I think the Tide rolls. I think it's, like you said, it's a show-me game for them. I think they put on a show.
Yeah, I think Nick Saban is trying to psych his team up too because he said Auburn's the best team they played since, so far this year, and they played LSU. So I think he's trying to get his team psyched up, like mental game. Like we got to come on. Not that they needed much in the Iron Bowl, but I think he's trying to do something, help the team go.
All right, next one, going to the NFL on Sunday. We got the Niners at the Ravens. Ravens are 4-point favorites. Terrell, where are you going?
Give me the Niners plus the points. Yeah,
You're
also.
going Jimmy G +4. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I like Lamar Jackson and the 4 better. Man, you gonna tell me this man's the
Ah.
MVP and not stick up for him? I'll let him know that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he still wins, but I think he wins by
Four,
field. I think he wins. I think he gets to
Tucker,
like a
Tucker at the gun.
50. I think it's like a Tucker at the gun, and I'm thinking not like I'm thinking a 52-yarder, 55-yarder Tucker at the gun type of deal.
Ooh, big man. All right, next game in Houston, the Patriots at the Texans. Texans had 10 days off after playing on Thursday. Houston's getting 3 points, and I like Houston to win getting those 3 points straight up. So I'm taking the Texans. I think they beat the Patriots on Sunday.
What? Really?
Yep, I think they win. I think Deshaun Watson just has got a little bit more magic in him, and I think they win that game. I don't know why. I just like the Texans in that game.
What do you think Hop's going to do against Gilmore? Think he's going to get, that's a big good matchup to watch. I'm excited for
I
that,
don't think he
actually.
does anything, and they throw to Will Fuller, and he has a monster day.
Okay. Dude, how does Will Fuller is really in? I don't want to get off the tangent real quick, but he's really interesting. This guy catches the hardest balls ever, but the simple ones, it's just amazing. But no, I got New England -3.
All right, and then our little bonus pick, because we got to do it for the people, for us.
You gotta do it. I'm gonna be in the building. It's your team. It's gonna be great.
I would also be in the building if somebody gave me a little bit more heads up and flights.
My bad. Once I know, I know. Once I figure it out, as I let my man know, listen, I can get you a ticket to the game.
We got screwed by being Thanksgiving weekend. Everyone's.
I know. Yeah, that's tough.
Vikings at the Seahawks. Seahawks 3-point favorites. I'm going with the Seahawks. Terrell, I know you're going with the Seahawks, but.
Well, I don't know. Last time you did this, I won because you were like the Cowboys. You're like, oh, I'm taking the Cowboys. I was like, no, I got your boys. I got the Vikings, but I can't. They kind of still send me. They can employ me a little bit. A little bit. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks -3, even though they've been horrible at home. So even though they've been horrible at home, I'm still gonna take a -3. I think Jason Myers field goal kick in the rain.
These games
Monday
are
night,
always
it's gonna be
close.
great.
Us and the Seahawks, we play them tight. But Russell Wilson, I mean, as well as Kirk has played, Russell Wilson at the end of games is a freak. He's magic. He always gives us fits. We shut him down for 3.5 quarters, and then he pulls a rabbit out of the hat. So
But to your credit, though, the Seahawks back end isn't great, and if they can get Thielen back plus Diggs, I really think they can torch them.
I don't know if we're going to give him enough time because I hope Clowney stays out. I know they're expecting him to play.
He was close. He was close to playing last week. I don't think he stays out.
That's what I heard.
You can move the pocket, though. Just move the pocket. You'll be all right. Move the launch.
It'll be interesting. It'll be a big game. Everyone will be watching. I'm excited. The NFL is excited, I'm sure. Huge game for the Seahawks and the Vikings.
I don't know why Monday night doesn't do this more often. Like, listen. Let me look at the schedule. Let me grab all these great games they're going to.
Yeah, they try. It's hard. It's hard.
Do they though? Some of those.
Sunday night gets the benefit of being able to flex games late in the season.
That's true.
So, all right.
You can't. What if you could you flex like
Can't flex day.
2 weeks
different day. You can't be flexing that. People got flights. People got hotel stuff. You can't be.
I want to get out of here with all that.
Can't be flexing.
Yeah, the charter planes and all that good stuff.
No, not teams. Whatever. I'm talking about fans, my man.
Oh, fans. Oh, fans.
I
see.
Hotel,
I see.
People take work off.
That I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. You're right.
It's all about the people. All right, Terrell. Who balled out for you this week?
No surprise, not to any, that Lamar Jackson is my ball. 15 of 20, only 169 yards. Very nice, but 5 touchdowns and 95 yards on the ground. The man did amazing. He got pulled. He didn't play the whole game.
He played. He
played
1 minute into the fourth quarter. I think he threw a touchdown.
Yeah, 1 minute in the fourth quarter. Yeah, he's doing some college stuff. He's getting pulled in NFL games.
All right, now I know you want it before we forget. Jalen Hurts stats of the week, Terrell.
Yes, Jalen Hurts stats of the week. 11 for 21, 145 yards that you mentioned. He has not been looking great throwing the ball. Really concerned for him and his future. But he had 2 touchdowns, an interception, a really bad interception. Good job, he tackled the guy before letting him return it for a pick 6. But it looks like Lincoln Riley put him to a gauntlet again with 28 carries and 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. The man is no doubt got a heart of a lion and is a very tough dude. But all that matters, the guy just keeps winning. And at the end of the day, that's what you play the game.
got to win 2 more, and then we'll just let the chips fall where they may. All right, doghouse for me, Joey Sly, kicker for the Carolina Panthers. This man was 2 of 3 on field goals, 1 of 3 on extra points, and he missed a 28-yard field goal with 2 minutes left.
Chip shot
In the Superdome to give the Panthers a lead over the Saints and maybe change the fortune of their season, put the Panthers be right in the mix of the playoff hunt. And he didn't. Of course, Drew Brees walks down the field, leads to a Will Lutz game-winning field goal. So he's my dog of the week.
He let down Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen put, him and McCaffrey holding it down.
Very strong
holding it down for the white boys. Played a very strong game. The dude's just balling out. And he just let him down.
They caught that. They had a Gerald McCoy mic'd up, and they caught him on tape and said, "Dang, that's a bad white boy right there." Watch him.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was great. All right, so just on a quick note, we want to wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Hopefully your travels.
Yeah, you bunch of turkey.
Yep, everyone be safe. Have a good time.
Hopefully the Lions put a game on for us people who are watching football on Thursday. Since some reason they need to be on Thanksgiving for some reason. I'm gonna investigate why the Lions must be on Thanksgiving Day. Maybe we just want to get over with the suffering, but not the day I have for sure gonna have off. Gonna be in front of the TV no matter what, and you're gonna put the Lions in front of me. Aren't they playing like the Bears, right? Too.
Yep, so it's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God! Really?
All right, so maybe it's just an excuse, maybe to get away from your family for just a little bit, even though we know it's all about spending
that's
time
the excuse. There's no way to get away from your family. Like, I think watching the game might be worse. I might just hang out with my family over there.